Hey everyone, Spaz here.
And I'm Neige, and this is what we had to watch. Spaz, you ready for a hilarious crossover?
I got Con Guy on standby. You got the DVD?
Got it right here. Uh-oh.
What?
Plot twist.
Snowman? The hell? Neige?
I'm afraid Neige has left.
Then who are you?
Oh, come on, Spaz. All this time and you haven't figured it out?
Wait, you mean... you?
Yes. I must say I'm quite surprised it took you this long.
Right. The hair, the movies you review, the reason why you can't stop bobbing your head. I know who you are.
Then say it. Out loud.
Blockbuster Buster.
Sorry, wrong answer. But we have a lovely consolation prize for you. A swift exit from the premises.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere, not until I get Neige back.
I'm only gonna give you one more chance to leave.
And what if I don't?
Then I'm gonna eat your penis! Hello and welcome to Bad Movie Beatdown. And join me as I review... Snakes on a Plane! Released in 2006, Snakes on a Plane broke new ground in terms of audience interaction, creating considerable buzz in online communities purely on the merits of its simplistic title and casting of all-around badass Samuel L. Jackson. In addition to spawning a number of fake trailers and parodies before the film was even released, the filmmakers even went so far as to incorporate audience speculation into the final product. So, does Snakes on a Plane live up to the hype? If it did, I wouldn't be reviewing it. So let's have a look. The film opens with a series of establishing shots at a beach in Hawaii. This is problematic for a number of reasons, the biggest being that for all the time we spend observing the activities of beachgoers, not one of these shots contains our protagonist. When we finally do meet our main character, it's not until the 3-minute mark that we actually see his face, and it's not until the 6-minute mark that we learn his name or he even has a line. This method can be effective, as in the case of There Will Be Blood, but whereas that opening showed the insatiable ambition of Daniel Plainview, all we learn here is that our main character has an incredibly generic affinity for extreme sports. I'm sorry, we don't do that here anymore. But eventually our hero is unmasked as he comes across a man at the mercy of a couple of thugs.
They say the higher you aim, the farther you fall.
You, Eddie Kim.
Oh good, we know next to nothing about our protagonist, but at least this man was kind enough to use his last breath to state the full name of the villain. Kim then beats the man to death and our hero gets away.
Let's get the hell out of here. And find that guy!
For all intents and purposes, the hero shall from here on be referred to as that guy. We then meet up with that guy in his home watching a news report about the murder, as we learn that the victim was a prosecuting attorney in a trial against Eddie Kim, a notorious mobster who, in spite of having never seen that guy's face, now knows where he lives, as a couple of his thugs try to break into his apartment. But luckily that guy is saved by an FBI agent played by Samuel L. Jackson, who helps him to escape.
I'm Agent Neville Flynn, FBI. Pleased to meet you, Sean.
In spite of him now having a name, I shall continue to refer to Sean as that guy. So that guy is brought in for questioning, as Flynn convinces him to stand as a material witness against Kim. As they board a flight to Los Angeles, we're introduced to an army of side characters, most of which have two-dimensional personalities, but all of which are more developed and interesting than that guy. They may be cliches, but at least they have basic personality traits. In order to keep that guy safe, first class is closed off, much to the discontent of many of the passengers.
Oh, beautiful. First they stick me in coach, and then they put a fricking dog next to me. What the hell is next?
A snooty and sensitive Englishman. I wonder if we're supposed to hate him. Also, are they really going to allow her dog to roam freely about the plane? If so, it seems the TSA doesn't need full body scans, it needs brain scans to find which of its employees are incompetent. And the oversights don't end there, as it appears that Kim has men on the inside who have snuck on some dangerous cargo. I wonder what it could be. We're already on the plane, so if the title is to be trusted, we can assume that it's... cats! Because everyone knows canine units are only trained to detect what appears on screen. But a timer goes off in the back of the plane and we see that the cargo hold is in fact filled with snakes, who have been made especially aggressive due to the use of pheromones. It's a good thing there weren't any major delays on the runway, otherwise this incredibly convoluted plan would have been screwed.
Accidents happen. You think I didn't exhaust every other option?
Well, I don't know. He was standing in front of a big window not 10 minutes ago. Maybe you could have hired someone to shoot him. So with the snakes released, they start picking off the passengers one by one, their first victims being a couple having sex in the bathroom. A scene so important, they got on the box.
Mile High Club.
Those were the days.
It's funny because they're dead. Meanwhile, the rest of the passengers remain blissfully unaware as we introduce pointless romance subplots to pad out the movie.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm that guy MacGuffin. Meanwhile, the snakes have been tampering with the plane's equipment, thus knocking out avionics. The captain then goes to check it out and meets his untimely death.
I think he's had a heart attack.
A heart attack? Really? You don't see the big bleeding bite marks on his neck? Oh, my mistake. There are no big bleeding bite marks on his neck, so I guess we can assume that the snake poisoned him via osmosis. Things from there get progressively worse as the snakes trip even more wires, causing the overhead compartments to open, meaning it's open season on the passengers. It's here that we see some of the best performances in the entire movie.
I've got ophidiophobia. True snakes.
That wasn't one of them. I'm sorry, does that microwave actually have a snake setting? Are we supposed to think that's clever? Or that this isn't a total ripoff of Gremlins? Finally, after 10 minutes of this, the movie runs out of expendables, and those remaining survey the damage. Among the living victims are an unaccompanied minor and one of the flight attendants.
Last month, they offered early retirement. But no, this broad needed one more tour of duty.
You mean she's going to die a month after retirement?
We missed the bastards because they were cold-blooded.
According to this movie, being close to death gives you the power to explain things to the audience. And that's basically all the movie is for a while. Something goes wrong, the passengers deal with it, somebody dies, and maybe somebody learns a lesson. Really, the only plot at this point happens on the ground, as Agent Harris, the head of the surveillance team in charge of watching Eddie Kim, consults with snake expert Stephen Price in order to prepare enough anti-venom for when the plane finally lands. If the plane finally lands!
Any one of those slimy little pieces of shit can trip a circuit or a relay or hydraulic, and this bird goes down faster than a tie hooker.
Suspense! Though to the movie's credit, it does get creative with the ways it tries to keep the plane scenes interesting. Rather than just having the passengers sit around and die, it manages to keep finding ways that things can go wrong. How the hell do you get one of those on a plane? Are we supposed to believe that that thing was stored in the same crates as the rest of them? Meanwhile, on the ground, Price and Harris discover that not all the snakes are indigenous to North America, meaning local hospitals won't have the proper anti-venom, which leads them to believe that Kim got the snakes from a special dealer. When they find the man responsible, he proceeds to sell Kim out.
Everybody listen. They have the anti-venom. It's gonna be waiting for us when we land in LA.
Oh, if only it were that simple. But all hope is not lost, as it turns out one of the passengers, played by Kenan Thompson, supposedly has enough experience to land the plane. To celebrate, Jackson delivers one of the most iconic lines in recent cinematic history.
Enough is enough! I have had it with these snakes on this plane!
This line was not in the original screenplay, and was in fact the creation of fans' anticipation, and required reshoots to be incorporated into the final cut of the film. Was it worth it? Hell yes! And so the passengers strap themselves in, and Flynn shoots out the windows to clear out the plane, conveniently ejecting the snakes while leaving the numerous dead bodies untouched. Thompson and Jackson then prepare to land the plane, but not without overcoming one final obstacle.
Sir, are you telling me that your only real flight time is at the controls of a video game?
No, see, it's not a video game, all right? It's a flight simulator.
Next, we explore how Call of Duty trains douchebags to join the military.
I suggest you speed up clearing the rest of the runways, because my ass is coming in for a landing.
And what a landing it is, as Thompson pulls off a stop that would give Captain Rex of the original Star Tours a run for his money. so, having learned nothing and having gained nothing apart from a romance with an equally underdeveloped flight attendant, that guy is free to testify against Kim. Which I suppose we're to assume happened off-screen, or perhaps not at all. Screw you, countless people who died because of me! I'm going surfing with my best friend Samuel L. Jackson! So that was Snakes on a Plane, and these are my final thoughts. Snakes on a Plane is a glorified exploitation film with a budget too big for its raunchy script. A movie that takes itself too seriously to be camp, but not seriously enough to be bold with three-dimensional characters or even a likable protagonist. But hey, you can't say the movie doesn't deliver what it promises. Snakes, a plane, snakes on the plane. What do you think you're doing? Taking my body back and I'm taking my show back. Oh, come now. Was it ever really your show? What's that supposed to mean? You sure it's not really mine? All nostalgia critics? And that maybe you've just been borrowing it this whole time? Shut up. I said shut up! Face it, Neige. In the end, you're just another that guy with the glasses reject who showed up too late to the party.
You can beat a Bill, Neige.
Who's that?
How's it going? Nathan P. Fuss Budget here.
Fuss Budget? You're in my head?
Actually, I reside somewhere between your solar plexus and your midichlorians. No, I see you're having a bit of what they call an identity crisis.
I guess you could say that. Have any suggestions?
As a matter of fact, I do. First, you must be a Dunsparce. Everyone else should be as well.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know what you're thinking. No, this makes no sense. And believe me, someone's about to lose a whole lot of points for that. What's important is that you remember who you are.
I'm Neige. And this is what we had to watch! Oh. Aluminum. Oh, thank God! Spaz?
All right, you tea-guzzling chimney sweep. I'm here to stifle your blob, so get low.
Spaz?
You ready, con guy?
Not done yet.
All right. American Revolution!
Whoa, Spaz, it's okay, it's me, it's Neige.
How do I know? Say something only El Neige would say.
Oh, come on!
Oh, hey Neige. So, what just happened?
You know what? I think it's probably best if we just never talk about it again.
Like Apollo's whisker skits.
Just like Apollo's whisker skits.
So what do we do now?
Well, you came all this way. You want to do what we meant to do in the first place?
Oh, you know it!
Yeah!